Well, I have to say the crucifix here in our chapel, in your chapel, it's kind of hard to miss. And this makes sense to me because this place, this chapel of the Holy Cross, is a place of worship. Because this cross shows us what life is all about. Some years ago, I had a confrontation at a wedding rehearsal. So the person was not terribly enamored of Catholics to begin with. So after chastising me a little bit for something I said, the person added this. He said, "And you Catholics, why do you always have that disgusting cross with the dead body on it? Isn't your religion about love, not death?" Well, I was so surprised. I was speechless. And I just shrugged my shoulders and I said, "Yes." For much of 2020, here at Catholic TV, we brought you each day the Pope's daily Mass from his residence in the Vatican. And I recall in one of his homilies, Pope Francis said that the Christian life is about the cross. He said the Christian life isn't navel-gazing. It's a life which gets out of itself in order to give oneself to others. Lift high the cross. The love of Christ proclaim. I know you recognize those words. They're from a familiar song that forcefully expresses the triumph, the exaltation of the cross of Jesus Christ that we honor today. And today, we recall an historic event as well. In the year 326, it was the finding of the relics of the cross on which Jesus was crucified that kind of brings us to be able to honor this feast today. St. Helena, the mother of the Emperor Constantine, traveled to Jerusalem where she organized a dig at the site where Jesus had been crucified, Calvary. And the diggers uncovered a number of wooden crosses, but they couldn't tell if any of them was actually the true cross. So they brought to the site, the dig, a woman who was terribly ill. And the three crosses were touched to her, one after the other. Two of the crosses had no effect. But on contact with the third cross, the woman who was sick was instantly healed. St. Helena had her prize. And here, if you've noticed, in our beautiful chapel, your beautiful chapel, we have a fragment of that true cross, a relic that we keep here in the chapel. And today, on this Feast of the Exaltation of the Cross, we usually expose that relic. We open up the reliquary, as you can see. And I'd like to, in a moment, give you a blessing with this relic of Jesus' cross. Sometimes I think perhaps we need to stop thinking so logically all the time and move more deeply into the mystery of the cross. As we heard in the second reading that Kelsey proclaimed, Jesus emptied himself and became obedient, even to the point of death. Death on a cross. Jesus' loss of life, his seeming defeat on this wood was actually a triumph, an exaltation for all of us who believe. He's alive, risen from the dead. And in this life, in all of our struggles, which we have a fair amount of, Jesus, the crucified one, he is our only hope.